Continuing, continuing, the flag that Grace Wisher worked on, she actually was apprenticed as a seamstress. That flag was simply the flag that existed in 1812 and had the number of states then in existence. If you want to give her that much accolades for helping to sew the flag, we don't know if she simply handed a needle, she stitched it. We don't really know exactly what her role was, but um, she did not create the flag, is what I'm saying, which is also known as the Star Spangled Banner. Then it says the 9 red stripes represent the 9 significant slave rebellions, the shape, I guess they meant to say that shaped policies on this land. San Miguel de Guadalupe, 1526, New York Slave Revolt, 1712, Chesapeake Rebellion, 1730, Stonewall Rebellion, 1739, Gabriel Prosser Rebellion, 1800, German Coast Uprising, 1811, Denmark Vesey's Rebellion, 1822, Nat Turner's Rebellion, 1831, and it says the Black Seminole Maroon Wars, 1816 to 1842. This successful rebellion is commonly hidden, and that's why one of the red stripes on the flag is hidden behind the Black Power fist. Okay, so they were very definitely creative in this, but the problem I have with this is using what is clearly the United States flag, but then or derivative of the United States flag, but then mentioning the Seminoles who fought against the United States. You might as well not have even used the American, anything like the American flag, in my opinion. Now, closing this out. Again, the first American flag, or first official American flag. And then we go to a physical map. And it does open. A physical map of North America. We have, go here. Let's hit visit so we can see. Okay, so this is a physical map of North America. What, at least what the person who came up with the term foundational Black American accepts, is that people were transported from West Africa, which you cannot see, to the mainland or the continent of North America. They do acknowledge that. However, they make a claim that there were indigenous people who were Black who were in North America. Now, where did those indigenous people come from? West Africa has dark-skinned people with coiled hair, and you also find people in the Pacific who have dark skin and coiled hair. Now, going up here, in the Aleutian Islands, you can't see, but this tiny bit here is Russia or Siberia. What is commonly taught is that people from Siberia crossed over during the Ice Age to become the ancestors of the majority, or to come crossed over during the Ice Age to become the ancestors of Native Americans. So closing that out, going to Native American haplogroups. People might not like genetics because it doesn't necessarily fit their narrative and what Granny told everybody. But basically, a haplogroup is a way to trace one's lineage. Okay, so these are maternal haplogroups. Native Americans and many Latinos or Hispanic people maternally trace back to these particular haplogroups. So it says initial peopling of Beringia, which was the land, or the name given to the land or hypothetical land that would have existed between Siberia and North America. So it says this is Beringia, and this happened around, it's the shoreline around 20,000 years ago. Back migration of A2, initial peopling of Beringia, later arrival of haplogroup D2 and spread of D2A, a swift peopling of the Americas, maturation, back migration of C1A, maturation of the New World founders, A2, B2, C1B, C1C, C1D, C4C, D1, D4H3, X2A during the last glacial maximum. That's what that LGM stands for, by the way. During the Beringian glacial refugium. So this is where people retreated because they could survive here during the Ice Age. Refugium from refuge, and they had reached Monteverde by 15,000 years ago. Okay, so now this is and it opens. A Melanesian woman. Melanesia is a group of islands in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is vast, so it would take considerable skill, not to say that people did not have it, but it would have taken considerable skill to cross from the Pacific Islands to North America however long ago. And they're not really not showing or any evidence of a crossing of people from Melanesia to North America. It also is the case that Black Americans do not have the same haplogroups as Melanesians, not the same paternal haplogroups, not the same maternal haplogroups as Melanesians. Also, Melanesians are aware of their culture, and so far you don't have Black people claiming to be these people exactly as like claiming any particular ethnicity. What people will do is they will show you an image of a Melanesian person, and then they will talk about being Aboriginal American. So now going over here to the book They Came Before Columbus, which is written by a Guyanese, Dr. Ivan van Sertima, and it says the African presence in ancient America, they came before Columbus. And you see right here one of the Olmec sculptures. What he claimed is that during the 25th dynasty of Egypt, when Nubians or Cushites were running the show, that some of them sailed to the Americas, and the Amerindians, as he called them, erected these statues with broad noses and big lips, which he assumed had to come from Africans in their honor. He also claimed that during the Middle Ages, during like I think it was the 1300s, the Mandinka people crossed over to the Americas. But that's different from, and I don't even know if he said that they came to what is the continental United States. But Mandinka coming in the 1300s, even if that were true, would not make black people indigenous to the Americas, nor would uh, Cushites or Nubians from the 25th Egyptian dynasty be indigenous either. Only the people who crossed over from Beringia or Siberia, only their descendants are Aboriginal or Native American. But another person, another source that is used, and they simply use pictures, not so much any text, is Arnoldus Montanus, simply because it shows some darker skinned people, where it says America, and this is what is called an allegorical or allegory, and basically it's symbolic. I don't know what this white guy here is supposed to represent. But this is supposed to represent America, symbolized by a native woman. And they'll probably say, see, these people are dark. These are the indigenous people that we are from. But no one has, and some of these people are, you see, are lighter. I don't know, like, why does she have blonde hair, or he, or just she? I'm not sure about what's going on with that. But anyways, what it says is, let's see. It says, despite claiming to be an accurate description of the New World, the work contains many errors and includes numerous fanciful tales about the people and animals of the Americas, since neither Arnoldus Montanus, 1625 to 83, nor John Ogilvy, 1600 to 1676, had visited the New World. They were relying on travelers' accounts and secondary sources. Nevertheless, the book was well received and widely held by a European audience fascinated by the New World. Became a highly influential work. Despite its shortcomings, it continues to be a valuable source of information about the plants and animals living in the Americas at that time, including marsupials and llamas, and how they were perceived by 17th century travelers. The plans of the cities and ports are also of considerable interest, even if not necessarily reliable. The work also provides an illustrated account of the arrival of the Native Americans, assuming that they came from elsewhere, and the exploration and conquest of the New World by the Europeans, commencing with Christopher Columbus in this engraving. Sir Francis Drake is shown being welcomed by the inhabitants of Virginia. So I don't see right here a black person, but now we can close out this and close out this and go over to this, which is an actual Cherokee or Salagi woman. Many people who are or claim many people who claim the FBA uh, title have a history of claiming that they had a female ancestor who was Cherokee. Now, this is an actual Cherokee woman. You also have the idea of what people refer to as $5 Indians, which are or which were Europeans or white people who, in order to gain access to lands that were being distributed to Native Americans, ironically, after their lands had been taken from them in the Indian removal, the Dawes Commission, some people paid to be listed as of Native American descent so that they could acquire lands. And you will have people who will say that or lead you to believe that all of the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, are in reality white people masquerading as Native. They will also claim that Native Americans are Mongolians, which is not completely true, in order to rob Native Americans of their claim to the land, claiming instead that, again, some supposed precursor uh, Negroid people were in the Americas, and that rather than being descended from Africans, Black Americans are in reality descended from these mysterious Negroid people, who again, see, there's no way you're going to escape really from either their being from Africa or from Melanesia. But again, Black Americans do not have the same haplogroups as Melanesians or any of those dark people of the Pacific Islands. So now closing that out, closing this out. This might be it. If it doesn't open. Okay, so that's not, this is would be for something else. Then we can go with, let's go over here to African ancestry. Eight. I think that's the data on this. That's different. That's not what I'm. See if I can find. How's it? Um, African Americans maternal. I think it is. How to find this? Is it the Metroclan test? Let's see. Anyways, how do I find this? Not quite certain where to find what I'm looking for. Anyways, let's see.